Hello, this is Gina, and I am here to welcome you for The Joy is in the Journey. I am blessed to be in service to this network as part of our wonderful prayer team. I am also the spiritual director for the CSL Greater Boston, and I am the host of this show, and so happy to have you here. We have so much in our lives to be grateful for, and this in the month of Thanksgiving always makes me be in that place of gratitude. And today, I want to talk about specifically, which to me goes along with it, is kindness. World Kindness Day is actually Saturday. And I have a wonderful guest who is going to help me talk about what I think is one of the best topics there is. Because joy is in the journey is all about being here now, being happy now, being mindful and aware and grateful for what is in my life. Not looking at what isn't or what was, or it's being right here, right now, present. And when you are kind to someone, it is amazing how good that feels. That is one sure way to find some joy in your life, is to be kind. And it's amazing how much comes through. So today, our guest, I am so grateful to say, is the one and only my friend and my classmate at ministerial school, someone that I am so blessed to see expanding throughout our network in amazing ways. It is Laura Topper. She is going to be here today talking with me about this wonderful topic. And she's a wonderful singer. Infinity, her and Jason are amazing. She's got her show, Cosmic Prayer, that has been around since our network began. It was one of the first ones that it started with, and she's amazing author, and she's got more things coming up that she's actually going to talk about towards the end of the show. But this incredible woman that I am blessed to call a friend is with us today, and I'm bringing her right in. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Gina. Thank you so much for saying so many beautiful things.
It's great. That beautiful. You
beautiful,
are that beautiful.
I want you to recognize this in you as well, because what you're doing here is so powerful. And bringing this topic, it's not just a topic, it's a way of being, isn't it? Kindness.
It is. There's so much good here. It's amazing. And I'm gonna be putting up quotes all through this. I'm gonna be showing pictures. What does kindness look like? That's what kindness looks like. It's when someone's in need that they're caring for them. It looks like helping someone out that needs it. And it's seeing that. I see images like that, and I literally am ready for tears. It is so. I was preparing for this show, and I was watching videos, and we have a couple that I'm going to share. But boy, oh boy, it just filled my heart, and I was just streaming. The tears were just streaming down. And as I was sharing with you, Laura, it's because my heart was overflowing. And that's what kindness does. Unfortunately, we're in a world that the negative sells sometimes. They put all the stuff on the news, and they put what's wrong, and they don't celebrate what's right often enough. So we are here to celebrate what is right today. Tell me.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm just feeling so excited about this topic, not just because it's World Kindness Day, but because it's an opportunity for us to look in our hearts to say, well, there isn't just one day that needs to be World Kindness Day. This is a mindset. This is a way of being, a way of living, where we're not reserving. I know the one day kind of marks it and says, okay, let's remember. I think we're working towards a kind of worldview or a paradigm or an intention. That's an easier word, isn't it? Of kindness being our go-to. To get up in the morning and literally say to ourselves, what can I do today, or how can I be of more kind to myself and to those around me, and to be available for that. I think then we'd see like an amazing shift if everybody did that. Wouldn't that be incredible? If we were all just
Absolutely.
consciously doing that on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's funny you said that. To me, that was perfect for that. You know, when we just do the simplest little things for the people that we
Yeah.
love, and even to ourselves. I have mugs that say all kinds of things. I have shirts that say wonderful slogans. It reminds me
Yeah.
when I wear the word gratitude, thankful, blessed. And I walk out in the world and people comment on it. And it's one of those things, it's an affirmation. We get to be that message to the world. And it's a
Yes.
wonderful gift. Our attitude is the gift. We can be the change we wish to see in the world.
That's it. I mean, Gandhi said it, and we know it's not just a throwaway slogan. It's the truth.
It says, when you do things differently, you do
Do
things,
things
when
diff.
you see things differently, you do
You do
things
things
differently.
differently. Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do today. So tell
And I
me, I would love for you to tell me, what are some things that you have done or people have done for you that just opened your heart?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't, just kind of go on about the last year because I think, we've all been through and we're still going through an experience of whatever that is for us. I think though in the last year I can see how my heart has opened definitely to this idea of not judging people, not seeing somebody and then placing a tagline after it of what I think, my judgment is, and coming to a softening in my heart of, well, that person's got a story just like I have. That person's got a track of beliefs of that's why, and just like I have. So I think I'm saying this for anyone that might be listening because we can judge very easily. We can see something and make a decision, and that's how it is, and that's how it should be, and that's how it shouldn't be. And yet when we go underneath that judgment, we're all the same. We're all on this earth school taking our exams, doing the best that we can, as Louise Hay put it. So I think in answer to your question, it's that softening in my heart to accept where I am, what's going on around me, who I come into it, who comes into my experience, and just have that softening and knowing, well, we're all doing the best that we can.
It's true. We are, and it's all about witnessing and not judging and being in that
Yeah.
place. And, sometimes it's so, we don't realize we're doing it. It can get so ingrained in us in the sense of, I want things to look a certain way. And when people
Yeah.
don't fall into that, then I don't identify with it. And there's no right or wrong in this oneness of life. And it's simply remembering that it's not about right or wrong. It's simply doing the best we can every day. And when someone is rude, or we don't know what they've been through today, we don't know
Yeah.
what someone's carrying. And I think that
Exactly.
especially through this whole COVID experience, we've come to realize that in a different way and
Yeah.
appreciate things in a different way. And that's not talked about often enough. I want to mention, because something that here in the United States, because for those of you that don't know, Laura's in the UK with us. All
I
over the
am.
world we are today. We're all over the world within this oneness of life. And, here it is Veterans Day. And that includes, the blessed, firemen, policemen, first responders. And, these are the people that are here, when they show up with an ambulance, when you call, when they show up with a fire truck, when they show up, these are people that are here to help create, and they're kind every day. Their job is to help make life better. And all of their family members. Think about all the veterans that are away for months at a time, and their children or their wives or their husbands don't get to see them and be with them all the time, and how many birthdays they miss, and all that they do out of the kindness of what they've chosen to be. What a gift that is, that it cannot be overlooked. Like it's so important, to say thank you when we see them. Just thank you for your service. And every time I do that, I choke up because it puts me in a place of gratitude. And that when we are grateful in our lives, we recognize the joy.
Oh yes. And from what you're saying, that's just a few things come through to me is the word humility. When we're humble and we come from that place of knowing that we're not the okay, we are the greatest thing since sliced bread, of course we are, because we are divine beings. And yet when we have that humility, we can open our hearts to people and see them for the truth of who they are, rather than from that place of maybe feeling like they haven't made it or whatever. There are so many messages that go on subconsciously within us. So if we can stay grounded in that place of humility and see the whole experience as love, then we get a different glimpse of life. We get a different understanding of life and appreciate life differently. Appreciate the water coming out of the tap. Appreciate the kettle boiling the water. Appreciate all of the little things and being kind. That's being kind as well. And the other thing you said that I really agree with, and I want to go even deeper, it's about how kind are we to ourselves with what we tell ourselves. The self-talk that goes on, I'm not good enough, I haven't done it properly, this one's doing it better than me, or that one's got it all together and I haven't, and we go into this self-sabotage and punish ourselves for not being good enough. We're here, we're born, we're alive, we're amazing. That is it, that's our job done.
And we are, when we're kind, when we're being our best selves and loving in that space, we are given the opportunity, to shine. Spirit as us, we are the hands, heart, voice of spirit. And too often we forget it. Too often people think, well, what can I do about it? Well, the answer isn't nothing. The answer is always whatever you do. It's just doing something. It's being there. Princess Diana said, carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you.
She's amazing. I love it that you put her up there. She's one of my icons. I just think what she went through. I've been watching more movies about her. Yeah.
But in the whole thing, when I think of not what someone might do for me, I think of what someone might do for my child. When people have done things for my mom, for the people that I love, those are gifts for me.
Of course.
Every bit of kindness that is done to a loved one is done for me. So when I put that kindness out to the world, somebody else is going to be putting that kindness towards not just me, but the people that I love. And knowing that is how it works. Unexpected kindness is the most powerful, least costly, and most underrated underrated agent of human change. So we get that opportunity, and it is powerful. A compliment. People don't realize there are people that have never heard good things about them. It's sad to say, but even just paying compliments, and you can tell where your receiving is if you can't receive one. There have been times in people will ask you, well, I love what you're wearing. And you're like, this old thing? If you can't receive a compliment, you're not accepting that kindness. There's some work on self that we need to do at that point to say, why is it that I can't believe that I look good?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That goes into a whole other realm.
That's another good conversation.
That's another show. No, it's all part of the same. It's all part of the same conversation, isn't it? Because it all comes back to knowing who we truly are. And when we get that and we know that, then the give is not forced. The kindness is not forced. It's not something we then believe we have to do it. Because if we're kind, it will come back to us in some way. It's when we live our lives from that place of giving that our life becomes an expression of the divine, a full expression of the divine. Because we're not then concerned if it's unconditional. We're not concerned how it comes back or how it doesn't come back. We're simply doing it because that's our nature, our highest nature.
Good.
And it feels good
to be nice to people.
And it doesn't even have to be a... Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, hold the door open for someone. Help them across the street. This is another one of those beautiful things. How many people just want to be, appreciated, like that woman. You don't know, especially elderly. Call people that haven't been out in a while. There's a lot of people that have been holed up inside. Reach out to them.
And I think that's really powerful. I mean, I've gone through this process of texting 3 or 4 people a day, friends, people that I know, people that I love and care about. It's a text to say, hi, how are you? Just sending my love with a heart or whatever emoji. And that is like, they might not respond, or they might. And I think in these times, acts of kindness, we're not, it doesn't have to be some great kind of earth-shattering thing of kind of just a few words of like, I love you, I'm here, you know?
In the Northeast, there's a whole lot of coffee shops. Like we have between Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, Honeydew, we have coffee shops at every corner. Sometimes there's more than one on a block. And, you're going through the drive-through, buy someone's coffee behind you.
Right.
Or if you're going through a toll, pay someone's toll behind you.
Right.
Just a little thought, if you're able, whatever you do, it comes from your heart.
Yeah.
It will, without a doubt, it puts a smile on people's faces. If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. And that's Dolly Parton. I loved that one. Think about that. When you see someone who's not having a good day, you have the opportunity there. Just smile. When you smile at random people, they smile back at you. I've looked at people as
it's
I walk around.
So true. It's so true. And isn't it amazing when we have a grumpy day and, because we do, and everyone else looks grumpy. And it's like, I wonder why. And then when we smile, it kind of emulates a whole other experience, and people get that energetically and in consciousness. Yes. We don't even have to, it's just being that draws that into our lives. So it's this incredible cycle of the law of cause and effect that we're in, the creative law, and we can use it
absolutely
for our lives.
Now, you had a quote from Ernest Holmes I would love for you to read.
I do. I'm going to read it because I think it's really, let me just get my screen. It's really powerful. And of course, as you know, we all love Ernest Holmes. There we go. So I'm just going to read it out. There is a lot more good in the world than we realize. And it is this good in each other that we wish to bring out. Sometimes we feel that if we could change the world in a minute through some miracle of love, all would be well. And this is true. But the world is made up of the people who live in it. And that means you and me. So each of us will have to begin right where we are. You will have to begin where you are. And I will have to begin where I am right now, today. So powerful. That is Absolutely. From an article that he wrote called The Whole Human Family. And he knew this. Beautiful. He knew that we're not separate. We're one. We're here together. There's no escaping it. We're all in it together. We're in God, as God. So how we behave is going to be the ripple that we are sending out as our signal. And that's Absolutely. The ripple that's going to come back.
And there was an article actually that I loved on that. It was in the Science of Mind article, one of the daily readings rather, Science of Mind magazine, and it was actually from Tuesday, and it the author is Reverend Dr. Petra Wells from Dallas, who's this month has been wonderful. But she was talking about Mother Teresa and Thich Nhat Hanh, and Mother Teresa, someone had asked her, how does she stay positive in the midst of all that was happening? And she shared that anytime she found herself alone during the day, like in an elevator, she would take that moment to breathe and put a small smile on her lips. Just the upturning of the corners of her mouth for 15 seconds with a deep breath. She would then easily greet with a smile whomever was next to see her. So 15 seconds with a smile.
And do you know what that does, Gina? That sends neurotransmitters back from the heart to the brain, telling the brain that everything is okay. That is proven. We can look at HeartMath, and that's an amazing website. HeartMath.
It is an amazing study. HeartMath is absolutely
amazing. Like, the heart is running up the show here, and we can send these transmitters back saying everything's okay. So just a smile, an inner smile to ourselves, it's a beautiful act of kindness.
Yes. And she goes on to talk about Thich Nhat Hanh, and she said that his favorite meditation practice, he said, first breathe. With the next breath, put a small smile on your face. With the third breath, smile in your heart.
Ah, there you are.
And with the fourth breath, smile in your liver.
Yes.
With each breath, just keep smiling and pour it out to the world. Truly, this is the only meditation practice you will ever need.
Oh.
So if we all took time to simply breathe love into the world, what a gift of kindness, raising the vibration one person at a time. What a gift of kindness that is. And it ripples, it truly ripples. And it starts within us. So we feel better. Anything that we do for others, you cannot smile and not feel that smile. You can't be kind to someone without that love pouring through you. So the greatest way to find joy is to be able to give to others. And it's not about giving money. We always say time, treasures, and talents.
Yeah.
So it's about, what do you do? What is your purpose in life? When you do that in service, amazing things come from it. So if you're a teacher, you're giving of yourself in amazing ways. Whatever it is you do it with your heart, and life itself is better for it.
Yes, it's the intention that we set. That's what I believe, the intention that we set. And it's a choice. It's a choice to make that choice. It's a decision to make that choice. Daily, momentarily, to remind ourselves. There we are. That's all. I love that. I love your images today.
You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference. You just have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. And that's Jane Goodall.
Oh, Jane Goodall. I love her work.
There are things that we look at and love, and there's things that we look at and don't. You get a choice at what you look at. And we get a choice on making things better. And it starts with our attitude. It starts with our that I call it a checkup from the neck up. When I'm not in the right place, I always talk about emotions are our rumble strip. When you're driving on the highway and you get on the rumble strip, you have to veer back to center. It's exactly the same way with our emotions. When we are not happy, when we're in a place of upset or angry or distressed in any way, that's our rumble strip. And it's time to go back to center. That center within ourselves where that goodness is. So we don't want to live on the rumble strip of life, and we certainly don't want to go over. We want to be in this center place where we're able to access all that good stuff.
Yes, and I'd like to just kind of go into that a little bit to invite that we want to be in that place where we can see and know that whatever we're seeing and not judging, that it is God expressing too. Whatever it is, the bits we like, the big bits we don't like, the stuff that comes up that we feel annoyed about, it's all God. It's all this divinity expressing itself. And when we can get past the judgment of that, we're then in this beautiful flow of allowing the experience to happen and allowing the light of the experience to be the kind of the veil lifts. It's like that's how we then see and view our lives. So then we're in this place where we're like, our antenna is up to see the good, to recognize the goodness. Because if we're in that place of this is wrong, this isn't right, that's not right, we're just going to see more of that.
And that's where our work comes, is to, I call it fix my eyes, that I might see, what's really there. And being in that place of knowing that no matter what I see, it's either a blessing or a lesson. We get a choice on, on what my perspective is in life. And, we want to absolutely throw kindness around like confetti. You get to be that, you want to be that light that enters a room. And it doesn't mean you have to bring anything but you, because spirit as you shines. Absolutely. And you have a beautiful song that you had brought. And this is a great time to let people, tell me about the song. It's Being Kind. Tell us about that.
Oh, okay. So yes, Nemo is an amazing singer-songwriter. I don't think he would classify himself as a New Thought artist. And yet the work that he does is very New Thought orientated. He lives in India, in the Gandhi ashram. And his life was a story of being in the hustle in America as a musician, as a hip-hop musician. And really yearning for financial success, and it didn't work. It broke him down because he couldn't keep up with it. So he's Indian and his family are not in India, but he went back to India and decided to give up all of his worldly possessions, live in the ashram and work with the school there. And through that, he kind of healed himself and started creating more music and works with Daniel Namod to create music now. And his website is called Empty Hands Music, because you can download the music, you don't pay for the music. He doesn't believe that he doesn't want any money for the music. So it's coming through his heart for the world, because that's his testimony to saying, well, he thought it was all about the money. He thought it was all about, being rich and famous and being a big hip hop star. And he's actually achieved that in this new way, in this new light with the work that he's doing. Yeah.
And the gift is in knowing that it's not a destination. It's not destination.
The joy is in the journey.
Yeah, I call it destination happiness. When I have this, then I'll be happy.
Yes.
When I am this successful, then I'll be happy. When I've paid off this, the car, the house, there's always going to be something. It's not about when I get there. It's about right here, right now, being in this moment and realizing the blessings in it. So let's listen to this beautiful Being Kind.
starts sinking, and I'm thinking, what's the reason why we holding back from being kind? What's the disease? But then I sense we are fine. It'll all happen one small step at a time. When the world is full of violence and it needs a little kindness, I just sit and pray in silence, and God shows me the signs. Open my eyes, realize we are fine. One small act at a time. Last night I'm walking home and the homeless man says hello with a smile to let me know that he's got a lot of hope. He says, have faith, young man, we are fine. The world is kind. One small act at a time. Small acts we do together, even though maybe alone, changes the world for the better, so we can call it home. And this is life as we know, when our hearts are aligned, the magic that unfolds, one small act at a time. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Yeah, feeling grateful today. Never thought this day would come where I would feel it and say that each and every one of us has paved the way doing good, and now we're all just moving up. When I'm kind to you, you pay it forward. This is how we build trust. Never had faith, but now I'm seeing you eye to eye. Wanna gift you my life, wanna spread love before I die. Thank you, God, for finally letting me realize when I serve man, I'm really serving you in disguise. Smiles everywhere, cause now everybody's got the bug. Ain't no life without the love. If it is, it ain't no fun. What we gonna do now? Just grab a friend and give a hug. Spread it out real wide so everyone can be touched. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind.
So we are celebrating World Kindness Day today, and it's actually on Saturday, so you can prepare yourself and give between now and then every day. Get yourself in the habit and the practice of kindness. And my beautiful guest is Laura Topper, who I am so grateful to be here, because you have that kind heart and soul. And it's one thing to be that way on camera, but I assure you, she's even nicer one-on-one. She's just a gift to the world. So when
Oh,
I thought of the topic, you were the first person that came to mind. You
oh,
exude
Gina.
that light and love of spirit, and it's just who you are. And it is truly a blessing. And we have, if you're blessed, you have people in your life that is the case. And I absolutely love this quote. Maya Angelou said that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's what it's all about, is
Yes.
being, we're doing this in a way. The reason we're talking about it is because we want to change the world. New Thought Media Network is about making that change and being that change in the world. And we both, between us, I think there's 5 or 6 shows going on these days. There's so much happening because we are invested in this. This is our passion, to help change the world. And kindness is what it's all about, being that love.
And it's amazing, isn't it, Gina, how we know when we're in, because it feels good and it feels easier. It's easier to be kind than not be kind on many levels. You know, for me, for example, I always know when I do a double take on myself and think, I could have been, actually, I had that opportunity, and why didn't I? And it's no judgment there, but we can go back and look and see how next time, because we'll always be getting these opportunities, they're always coming around for us to as kindness. So don't judge it, but it feels much easier being kind.
A little spark of kindness
You. I
can
love
put a
that.
colossal burst of sunshine into someone's life. You get to be
Yeah.
the sunshine in someone's day.
I just love all of yours. They're amazing. Gina.
I got a bunch. Kindness is more important than wisdom. And the recognition of this is the beginning of wisdom. And I believe that's Thich Nhat Hanh. It's hard to see underneath that. So it's knowing that there is so much good, and it's not about what you have, it's who you are. And who you are is how you treat people.
Yeah. Have you ever been to somebody's home and you know that person doesn't have worldly possessions, and yet you feel their warmth and welcome as you sit down in their home, and they welcome you as if you're like royalty, and they would give you their last meal, you know?
I grew up,
And there are many people like that
I was
you grew
blessed to
up in
grow up
that,
in one of
with
those
that.
houses. My mom
Right.
created that atmosphere and was very giving and nurturing. I can remember being very young, and we didn't have much at all. We lived on the 3rd floor of a tenement, in East Boston growing up. And people she worked with were burned out with a fire. And it was a husband, wife, and a child. And she just brought them home with her. And we were in this little apartment, but it didn't matter. It was more than what they had at the moment. And she just
Yeah.
brought them home with her. And we would have Thanksgiving would be 30 some odd people in 2 rooms, and it was tiny, but it didn't matter. There was so much love, and
Yeah.
I remember so much. People would stay at our house, and they're like people that never could sleep anywhere, because there are some people that can't sleep without their own bed, or they're just not comfortable. They would sleep like a rock in our house. Anybody could sleep at our house. So it was one of those things that, this is the experience that we strive to be. And to me, I strive to be in the world.
And it's always when we see it in others, and we see that level of ability, somebody's ability to be able to do that, that we can question ourselves and look at, well, where can I be like that? How can I show up like that? I mean, it may not mean opening our doors to people, and yet we can open our hearts.
Absolutely.
We can open our hearts. The next time we see somebody sitting outside a store on the street, to open our hearts. How are you today? Just how are you today? And it's amazing how that person, because I did that the other day, and the person turned to me and said, "And how are you today?" And I felt so humbled. There he was sitting there on the street, just looking so hopeless and helpless. And he didn't even want to answer my question. He asked me how I was.
At that moment, just looking someone in the eye and acknowledging them,
Yeah.
being that light, just shining with them. I remember one of the things that made the most impact. My father was very kind to a lot of people. He and I had, there was, I don't think he ever learned how to be a dad, but as a human being, he was very kind, and I know that stuff but what he did in the world, like, amazes me. Like, he helped so many people. And I can remember I was about 8 or 9 years old, and we were in Boston, and we were at Arch Street in downtown Boston, which is, it wasn't the greatest neighborhood of the area. And we went to church and came out, and there was someone sitting, begging, asking for money. And he said, "Come with me." And there was a McDonald's right in the corner. And he said, "Come with me." And the guy got up and came, and he bought him, he bought him cheeseburgers and fries and a coffee. And he said, "You sit right there and you eat. You paid. You sit there and enjoy it." And he bought him this big meal the guy was so happy.
Yeah.
And he said, "I wanted to make sure that he ate." But at the same time, it was being that he was a person. It taught me at a young age, it's not just, it's seeing someone as a human being, regardless of their circumstance, no better and no worse than anyone else. And just being and giving what you can when you can. It doesn't have to be extravagant. The Kaleidoscope Foundation is David Alt's foundation. And he was talking about, that $10 a month basically feeds a family. And, when you think, well, what can I do for the poor? I can give $10 a month and feed a family. And I know that that's what it's doing. So I signed up as soon as I heard that. As soon as the show was over, I signed up, because I may not be able to do everything, but I can do something. And, there's little things like that you think, well, it's like a drop in the bucket. But the bucket that you're dropping it in, the person that's receiving it, it's so much more than that.
Yes. Wow. It's such
So
a
that's
beautiful.
Kaleidoscope
It's such.
Foundation. Yeah, you can check out davidalt.com and see more about the Kaleidoscope Foundation. But it's a nonprofit as well. But there's so many causes that are built around just being kind and giving opportunities of learning and helping people help themselves.
And there's the opportunity to look within and to see where we can be kind to ourselves right now, and how we can expand our hearts, open our hearts to ourselves, and to let that be the natural state of our being, so that shines out, and then we automatically show up as kindness.
Tell me some of the ways people can do that for themselves. What are some kind acts, some self-care acts that you have?
Okay, so first of all, I for me, if I'm in that place where it doesn't feel right and I don't feel, aligned, is to really look at what I have around me and be grateful for that. To really look at where I am and what I have and be grateful. I have a friend who lives in Africa, and every time I call her, I know how blessed I am. I know my standard of living is higher. It might not be easier, but it's definitely, so I look at those around me that love me, that I love. I look at the opportunity I do meditations where I bring everyone into my heart and love them right there, now, here and now.
Doesn't it feel good?
It feels amazing.
It does.
And it doesn't have to be like a big 20-minute, thing. It can be 2 minutes. It's setting an intention, that That's what it's
15
about.
seconds. Mother
15
Teresa
seconds.
said,
there we go.
15 seconds. She puts a
15
small
seconds.
smile on it. She put a small smile on her face. In 15 seconds, it was different. You know, these are the spiritual leaders that absolutely, you know, gave so much, but they knew how to center themselves back into that heart space. And we
Yes.
can do, you know, spiritual tools, journaling and prayers and doing readings, the daily readings from different books and having different practices absolutely gives us the
Yes.
opportunity to recenter and go back within where the good stuff already is.
And I think it's important to have a powerful affirmation, to repeat that affirmation constantly, because we're repatterning and we're reprogramming our subconscious. You know, to have an affirmation that feels good, that sounds good, that does something to us, moves us within, and to constantly repeat that. And then the other thing I think is really powerful is to stop comparing ourselves. Stop comparing ourselves to this one, that one, whoever, whatever, and be grateful for who we are right now.
I always say, don't compare somebody else's outsides to your insides,
Yes.
because it has nothing to, you know, you don't know what someone's going through. I wouldn't swap
Absolutely.
places with anyone because you don't know the stuff that they're living with or through or what they can handle. You know what you have, and you know it's you get the opportunity to make that greater and greater.
And we put ourselves through a whole heap of suffering doing this. It's suffering. It's like, it's not pleasant. Drop the comparison.
One kind word can change someone's entire day. You get to have that opportunity. Give compliments out as much as you can. Give out those compliments to people about anything and everything. I love your sweater. I love the color of your nails. You know, thank them for anything and everything. Go out of your way to be kind and be joy filled. You get that opportunity. It doesn't take much, but that one thing, especially if you're in a store, a grocery store, or a coffee shop, these people aren't making a whole lot of money, and you're simply saying thank you. You know, it makes a huge difference. Tell them, have a great day. Thank you so much. Just common courtesy that isn't always common anymore, unfortunately.
And, you know, kindness is the root of prosperity. That's where it begins. So for anyone that's having a life that feels less than prosperous, this is where to begin.
There's so much good here, and and it's so amazing. Time flies all the time when we're on.
You had a
especially
video.
when we're on together. I'm going to show like 3 minutes of a video because
Yeah.
I was on earlier. I was looking, and I have to tell you, I found like dozens and dozens and dozens of these, and when I watch them, I just cry. I've warned Laura before. I said, get a tissue because
I got my tissues.
When these stop, I have one right here. I went and got one because
Okay,
I
I've got one.
absolutely need it. It's because there's so much. It really, when I see the love in this, it just I overflow. So I'm going to play a few minutes for you, and I invite you to pay attention and watch some of this good that is happening in our world.
Sometimes it takes very little to make a person happy, but showing kindness can save someone's life, give them a second chance, or inspire hope. Today you'll see that the world isn't so bad, because there are plenty of truly kind people among us. Just take a look at the emotions of a 4-year-old Logan from LA when he saw a parade of ambulance vans in honor of his birthday. But that's not all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This little boy was $2 short when trying to get some frozen custard. Cashier Travis discreetly paid the difference with his own money, and a satisfied customer left with his dessert. But the story did not end there. An hour later, the boy brought Travis a thank you note from his mother and a $100 bill. And this little kid is off to wish his mom happy Mother's Day.
Put him right here for mom. Right here, baby. Put him in here. There you go. Say hi.
This man is paralyzed from the waist down, which did not stop him from having the first dance with his bride. Here's the heartwarming moment when he stands up tall with a little help from his dad and brother. And this teacher was speaking at a school assembly when she unexpectedly came across her soldier son's name, who was previously deployed for several months. A regular of a popular U.S. restaurant decided to anonymously reward a hard-working employee by giving him a brand new sedan.
There it is.
His love of football has helped 14-year-old Colin Donaldson from the U.S. in a tough fight with Burkitt's lymphoma. And just imagine his joy when he met his idol BVB player Christian Pulisic backstage, as well as his team. 89-year-old Derlin knew he wasn't receiving enough benefits to pay his bills, so he got a job as a pizza delivery guy. This married couple decided to raise money for the elderly man with the help of their TikTok followers, expecting at least a small amount. Imagine his surprise when he was handed a $12,000 tip.
How do I ever say thank you? I don't know what to say.
And these are the raw emotions of a girl who just found out she was adopted by her stepmom.
Oh my God!
I could watch these, and I did watch these for quite a long time today. And I see, I know the two of us are sitting here, and they just are so heartwarming. So whenever you feel like the world is not in the right direction, when you feel like the world is not where you want it to be, go online and go on YouTube, and these are under Random Acts of Kindness, and there are 10, 11-minute videos, but there are like tons of them. There are like, part 3, part 21, part 14, and there's different people that do it. So there are literally hundreds of these videos that are 10, 12 minutes long with snippet after snippet of good deeds that people do every day. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. We get to look for it. We get the opportunity. And it's so funny because some of the things we talked about already were in that first beginning. That $100 bill.
Gina.
You said it's the beginning of prosperity.
Yes.
You haven't seen the video, and
No.
there's $100 for being kind.
And the amazing thing is, they didn't do it, they weren't kind because they were thinking, oh, I'm going to get $100 for this. They just did it from their heart. And that was the gift coming back. And it's always going to come back in some way, shape or form. Maybe it will be a healing in a relationship, or an opportunity, or an old friend pops up, or a new friend comes in. It's being it's kind of putting the oil in the grease in the frying pan before we make an omelette, just to grease it up and say, yes, I'm in life. I'm in life.
I actually had an experience when I had the experience of kidney cancer, and over a dozen tumors in my kidneys, and 2 different operations, and miraculously, everything just fell into place. The right doctors. I didn't even know about NIH. I didn't know we know now because of COVID, but I'd never heard of it. And my doctor suggested me. So I ended, and which is free. There was no need for even insurance. I didn't have to worry about anything. And the care that I received there from doctors and nurses and so many people, and the things that I was given to come home with, and just person after person, kindness after kindness, it felt, and said it to my husband, I feel like every kind act I ever did in my life has come back to me since I've been here. You don't know when you're going to need it, but spirit knows and is right there for you. And when we trust and when we live that way, karma is the ebb and flow of life. It will come back in amazing ways. And that is what creates who we are. So, we've gone through so many different things. It's spreading sunshine into people's lives regardless of the weather. You get to be that. You get to do things for people, not because of who they are or what they do in return, but because of who you are. You get that opportunity. And I thank you, Laura, for not only being a person that does that every day without any question, but I also thank you for being here to have this conversation with me.
Oh, well, thank you, Gina, for inviting me here and for sparking the conversation. It's come from you and your loving kindness and the way that you are. It's just amazing how I see you and I see what you're doing in your life and your ministry and with your business and all of it. And I know that's no coincidence. You're doing it and you're blossoming. And I love watching your programs and seeing everything that you stand for and your values. And I know kindness is a top of the list value for you. And I just feel so honored to be here right now sharing with you.
Thank you. I love you. And you can see it's so amazing to me from the time that we started till now. It was so bright when I started. It just got so dark. But all of a sudden, daylight savings times change things. But here we are in the Northeast.
The light's in your heart.
You have a ton of things going on. And I wanted to make sure that I mention at least a couple of them. I know you. Tell me about the shows on the network right now. What do you got? Because I know you have, of course, you have your Cosmic Prayer. Okay, and that is wonderful. And what day is that on?
So for anybody that really wants to delve into prayer and hear other people's experiences of prayer, then this show is on a Monday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. And it's always interesting and fun and inspirational. And it really, I think, helps to demystify all of these kind of ideas that we have about prayer when really it is so simple. It's so simple.
So many amazing people on. It's absolutely incredible. And tell us about this new.
So this is a show that's been on. It's kind of more random than on all the time, actually.
Tuesdays
but it
and
is
Fridays.
It's a reminder of who we truly are and the awakening that we're going through, that we're always going through within. So, and of course the Global Love Meditation, which is on every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. We sit in silence for 20 minutes, knowing love for ourselves and for every being on this planet and beyond. So, people are welcome to tune into that and sit and join
Global
in
Love
consciousness.
Meditation. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I do the Peace Circle, where we are here to uplift
yeah.
ourselves, and doing that, uplift
What
the
day
world.
is your
And
Peace
actually,
Circle? It's on a Monday,
It's
isn't
Monday
it?
nights, actually. So Monday's the day of peace. But Karen
Beautiful.
Drucker is going to be on this Monday. I want to make sure I mention
Fantastic.
that. It is 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And God bless, it would be in the middle of the night. It's 11 p.m. in the UK where you are.
Oh, that'll be fun. Karen Drucker. Karen's amazing in conversation.
She is. And it will be live, and I am looking forward to you and Jason coming on the Peace Circle as well.
Yeah, we'd love to.
We're looking forward to more, live guests, because it is music, meditation, and message.
Right.
So it's a wonderful opportunity for that, and I'm very excited to have her on. She is very kind with her generosity of time. She really does give in so many ways to this network. And I also want to talk about this network and that we are here, and all of these shows are here to watch anytime. And I encourage people to go back and get their dose of positivity whenever they need it. So tell me about your Dreams Come True live workshop series. What is this?
I mean, I know I'm just inspired to bring this out because I know how it can be, and it's not about the end of the year and going into a new year, because really in any moment and any day we can make these changes. And yet, bridging over into the new year is an amazing opportunity to give thanks, really, for what has been, and to set a new dynamic intention, get clear on what it is, that bigger vision, that greater vision for our lives.
So when does the workshop start?
So they are on Thursday. They start on the 25th of November. 3 Thursdays before New Year and 1 Thursday afterwards, 4 all together. And people can sign up for that on my website and come and join and be a part of your own co-creation for what it is you want to get going, what you know is coming through your heart. So often we put our dreams on the shelf.
And this is your
no
website.
More.
I want to make sure people know lauratopper.com.
I love that. I remember making that. I'm gonna put that on my website. It's great.
Absolutely.
Isn't it funny the things that we make and we think, oh my gosh,
find things everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just to surprise you with. And I sent it back to you. The irony of that is I sent it back to you. You gotta love the internet, right?
Yeah.
So I thank everyone for tuning in today and for, our beautiful topic of World Kindness Day, which is this Saturday, but truly is absolutely every day. And I am thankful for this beautiful network. ntmedia.org to donate. Whatever you give goes back to this wonderful platform. It gives the opportunity for us to be, in service and offer you all of these things and so much more. There's so much more coming. And if you want to reach out to me, know that you can do that. You can reach me on Facebook. It's Gina Kovario Krupka, or CSL Greater Boston. You can reach me at gina@cslboston.org. What a wonderful, beloved community I have. And I'm excited to
amazing community.
Yes, you were with us. She was with me on my first day.
On your first one.
Director.
That was amazing. What a great experience. And I'm saying it now for anyone that's viewing now. Check out Gina on Sunday at her Boston community.
5 p.m. on this network. We are going to be on the network every Sunday. Greater Boston.
You're streaming through here.
We'll be streaming here. I'm so excited. This is our first week. So it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is 3 p.m. Mountain time, which is 9 p.m. UK where it's 10 p.m. UK where you are. So wherever you are, it's 5 p.m. Eastern. So people can look and there's actually, I want to say 4 or 5 different centers that stream here on Sunday.
There are.
Really, we have these gifts that there's so much good, and it's so funny because I'm not doing anything and the lighting is changing. So we have these gifts everywhere, and I just, watch. If you want to be in a better mood, watch. The network has been such a gift to so many, especially through some challenging times. So I thank you, my friend, for being part of that and part of the beautiful prayer team in the morning and in the evening, 8:15 Mountain Time. It is 10:15 a.m. and p.m. on the East Coast. And I know for you, it's, off times somewhat. You get it in the afternoon, in the middle of the night.
3:15.
But the gift is they're always there.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, New Thought Media Network, and you will find so much inspiration. So we've gone over, and I don't even mind, but I want to just make sure everyone knows. So I thank everyone for, really being in this place of knowing kindness, loving and being with people. And I thank you, Laura. for shining your light
Oh.
out into the world. Any final words for our viewers?
Oh, just to know that you are loved. And I say this in my meditation every Wednesday. You are loved. I am loved. You are loved. We are loved. And if we know that and hold this in our heart, that changes our outlook on our lives. We start to see everything as love. And then it's like a child. It's like being a child in that wonder. So know that you are loved. Know that you are loved right now. Whatever it is you think you're going through, whatever seeming challenge, you are loved. And let that be your affirmation. And thank you, Gina, for all that you're doing.
On that note, there's no better words. You are loved. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everyone, and stay in that joyful journey. Blessings and love. Namaste.